War. War never changes. For a nation to rise, another has to fall. War brings peace. War brings pain. War brings life. But above all war, war brings death. Long ago, the so-called Great Immortal King was defeated and beheaded at the old city of Kaupang. He was my great-grandfather. He was defeated because his war tactics were primitive. He had a vision but lacked the execution. Ulfric Suncloak, third son of Thor Immortal, will surely bring prosperity to the new lands of Denmark and rebuild this nation to what it could have been. I began my great empire by rebuilding Copenhagen and sending a small company of soldiers to go scout the surrounding area. I then focused my empire's efforts on technology research. I wanted to strengthen my military power first. I then began to build farms at Copenhagen, and then adopted the honor piety which focuses on military enhancements. I created a special scout force to map out the continent and its terrain so that we could position our cities at the right spots and know how to defend ourselves and also attack our enemies. The people of my civilization then had desires to adopt a faith, so we adopted the Monument of God's faith, which allowed us to construct all wonders with a bonus production speed. My scouts made contact with the nation of France. I had no intentions of raiding them yet. For now, I hoped for a peaceful relationship with the nation. Now that a significant portion of the continent was now mapped out, and we had also discovered we have close neighbors, I had to now plan my empire's expansion. So I built roads from Copenhagen to connect to my other future cities. I then built the Temple of Artemis and the Stonehenge wonders for faith and archery production benefits. I began to be worried about the strength my neighbors had, so I looked at the information my scouts had gathered, and it showed me that France was the most powerful nation in the world currently. I had to be careful and start building my military. Back in Copenhagen, a great prophet had come, so we adopted a religion with the tithe and religious community customs. Then the training of military troops began. They were going to be the most respected individuals in my empire. They were heart and pride of the nation. I then sent out settlers to go build new cities so that I could be in control of more territory under my empire. I focused on the construction of city buildings in Copenhagen. We built a mint factory, a market, and a few warehouses. Soon after, I built the city of Aarhus right in the north of Copenhagen, and then I immediately began working on building farms and buying more land for it. I looked at the map again to see how much land France had, and I was in disbelief that they had so much in such a brief amount of time. Another great prophet appeared, and I enhanced our religion with the just war custom, which allowed us to have an advantage when fighting in enemy lands. I then built Kaupang, northeast of Copenhagen, right in the Great Dam, which separates France and Denmark. And then I began production on the city. I also built more roads to connect to more cities, so I sent 2 groups of settlers to the northeast to build to more cities. I then built Rabe, which prompted France to declare war against us, and we simply replied that they will regret their decision, for we are a superior nation. Although their military strength was more powerful than ours, but I was not fazed. I then built Viborg, just east of Kaupang. Then I sent a few units from the defense force to go defend my cities. I successfully converted Aarhus to our religion. The troops had arrived at Aarhus and Viborg, then at Kaupang. A messenger then arrived to inform me that Ribe was being invaded. In desperate attempt to defend a city, I quickly hired mercenaries to defend the city, but they ended retreating. The people of the town tried to fight back. I even sent a few reinforcements, but the French attackers proved to be stronger, so Ribe was lost before the reinforcements could even get there. This was a life-changing moment. The people of Denmark were troubled and fearful of the French attackers. They even started crying that Denmark would fall the same way it did when the great immortal king was ruler. This infuriated me. So I ordered the execution of any rebels and coward. The French army then came down from the northeast in large numbers. But I had a plan which would change the tide of the war and turn the table against our invaders.